amazing squad on FIFA 16, link is in the description for cheap and safe coins.
TIKI TAKA! Hola, 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 hola. Hola, 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 hola. Hola, hola.
Hey guys, my name is Suti and welcome to this Tiki Taka tutorial. In this tutorial I'm gonna explain to you how to score amazing Tiki Taka goals like this. First, I'm quickly going over the techniques from my first tutorial so that we all remember it. And for the ones who haven't seen it yet, that are the layoff technique, using driven passes, Tiki Taka with 1-2 combinations, and most importantly, the middleman technique. After that, I'm gonna show you the advanced techniques of using middlemans in Tiki Taka playstyle in more directions than just back and forward. And Tiki Taka is beautiful, but I'm gonna show you how to apply some of these techniques in the efficient playstyle if you think about winning only, as you can see on screen now, efficient Tiki Taka indeed. In the description you can find my top 25 most beautiful Tiki Taka goals, my first Tiki Taka tutorial if you want more examples of the basic techniques, and the best Tiki Taka custom tactic. If you enjoy, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. First, let's quickly recall the basics of passing, which is passing into the direction your player is facing. On screen you can see this rule, which I call the 45-degree rule of thumb, but after the patch I feel that we can take a 90-degree rule of thumb, like in FIFA 15 again. If your player is facing down, you should pass it down. That doesn't mean it has to go directly down, but always try to keep your pass between the yellow lines on the screen. But after the patch this can be 90 degrees. Look at that, 5 very quick passes. Why are these passes so accurate? Why are these passes so good? That is because we are applying the 90-degree rule of thumb. If we are facing right, we pass right. If we are facing left, we pass left. And if we are facing right and want to pass left, then we first turn left and only then we pass to the left. Let's quickly review the layoff technique now. Look at the space here. We want to pass that ball not in Neymar's feet, but we want to pass it in front of him, and therefore we use a through ball here. The layoff technique is a technique which will keep your passing fluid and quick. This technique is also a technique which I use very often when I just play efficiently and want to win only. If you pass a ball to a player to the side who is just next to you, then sometimes playing a through ball will be better. As we can see in the replay, we played it in front of Iniesta, and therefore he was able to pass that first touch into Neymar, and we can score a very fluid Tiki Taka goal. The best technique of playing Tiki Taka is the middleman technique. We want to give the pass to Marcelo, but we can only give the red pass. What we're gonna do is we first pass it back to the middleman, and then he can pass it forward. This is a very good technique because the middleman will be facing the right when he gets the ball. So we will apply the 90-degree rule of thumb if we do this. And tweak up to 2 very quick passes and do not have to turn right before passing now. In a minute I'm gonna show you more advanced middleman techniques. First, let's look at an example of applying the simple technique, which is first passing it back and then he can pass it forward. We do it here, we first pass it back, he can pass it forward. We do it yet again, we first pass it back, and here again we first pass it back, he can pass it forward, and we score an amazing Tiki Taka goal if we apply the middleman technique very well. If you want to see more example of the best technique of playing Tiki Taka, make sure to check out the tutorial in the description. The key of playing Tiki Taka with 1-2 combinations is passing with the regular pass button. So we do not pass with through balls, but actually pass the ball back with the regular pass button. Now the players do not have to run to the ball, but they get the ball directly in their feet, which allows for quicker combination play. This last pass was a through ball because we laid that off for the shot there, but here again we all use regular passes, and therefore the players do not have to run through the ball before they can pass it. Let's look at the combination of the techniques we discussed. First we use the middleman technique, now we lay it off here to Messi, and let's use the 1-2 combination technique now. And you can see if we combine all these techniques, then we are able to score amazing Tiki Taka goals. Driven passes are very important in the efficient Tiki Taka playstyle. For driven passes we do not need a 90-degree rule of thumb, but we need an almost 0-degree rule. So you can see I'm almost directly facing the player I want to pass to, and therefore I can use a first touch driven ground pass. For a driven ground pass we need to hold R1 on PlayStation, that is RB on Xbox. Combined with the middleman technique, this is a game changer. Look at that middleman technique, then a driven ground pass, we get very quick passing going. And in the end I maybe overdid that a little, so we do not get the goal there in the end, but we will get into the efficient Tiki Taka playstyle later. Finally, let's get into the new middleman techniques I want to discuss with you. The vertical middleman technique and later even diagonal ones as well. We want to get the ball to Iniesta, but we cannot reach him, but he's our most dangerous player. What we're gonna use is we're gonna use a vertical middleman technique. So we first pass it down and then he can pass it up. So that's a difference. We do not first pass it back and then he can pass it forward. The regular middleman technique right here. But now we're gonna use the vertical middleman technique after. You want to reach Messi, he's our most dangerous player, he's in the center, he has space, but we first pass it up and then he can pass it down, and that's so much quicker than turning down and then passing down. 2 very quick passes with the vertical middleman technique. We want to reach PK, he's in a lot of space, he's in the center, we do not turn, we do not play slowly, we play 2 very quick passes if we apply the vertical middleman technique there. So we can use the vertical middleman technique if a defender is in the way and we just need to get our passes around him, but also simply if we are facing down and want to pass the ball up. Then too, first touch passes are much quicker than turning up and then passing up, and it's much more confusing and harder to defend as well for the opponent. Now, efficient tiki-taka, our strategy is gonna be reaching the striker with tiki-taka and then do something else like a dribble or a skill move. To do this, we are gonna use middleman techniques and driven ground passes. Look at that, middleman technique, driven ground pass, middleman technique, driven ground pass. Yet again, we reach the striker, and now we're gonna try and do something different like a dribble or a skill move. Look at that, middleman technique, we pass it, vertical middleman technique here, driven ground pass, reach the striker, and here's the fake shot, here is the efficiency, and we get the goal there. So this is tiki-taka efficiently indeed. Vertical middleman technique, regular middleman technique, 2 driven ground passes. We reach the striker so quickly, the opponent was confused, he couldn't follow this quick passing anymore. Driven ground pass right here, vertical middleman technique, driven ground pass again, pass it back, middleman technique, and now we do some dribbling from my last video, the dribbling tutorial, and some skill moves. We use the efficient tiki-taka as a tool to get forward to reach the striker, and then we're going to use efficiency, driven ground pass here, middleman technique, driven ground pass again, we reach Messi, and now it's time for the dribble, now it's time for the efficiency, get that goal in there. So we just use this as a tool to reach the striker. We have already seen some examples, but I'm going to show you some more examples of multiple middleman techniques now. This is a friendly against my mate and I was humiliating him a little bit with some back heels here. But now time to do tiki-taka, vertical middleman technique here, some diagonal middleman technique and the regular middleman technique right there. And if you combine all these middleman techniques in one single attack, we're going to score great tiki-taka goals indeed. We use some face of dribbling, but here look at the middleman technique, the regular one, a diagonal middleman technique right here, and then the lay of pass, lay that in front of him, and therefore he was able to score that first touch. So we can see if we combine all the techniques I've showed you in this video, we can score amazing goals indeed. We do 0-degree passing, the 90-degree rule of thumb, so middleman techniques, vertical middleman technique combined with the regular one again, and look at this, the vertical middleman technique, now the regular one and the diagonal middleman technique as well, and we get a great goal. Look at that quick passing, that is very hard to defend. And this one is from my last full Division 1 gameplay. All these clips, by the way, are Division 1 only, so if you're able to get all these techniques right, it works against every opponent. But I want to stress again that tiki-taka is not the best style if you're only in it for winning. Then you can use it as a tool to reach the striker and then play efficiently, but tiki-taka is very beautiful indeed. Also, do not force tiki-taka. We play a turning pass here, but the player was in that much space that it doesn't matter. And here we do it again. We do not apply the 90-degree rule of thumb here, but here we use the middleman technique, and we can see some quick passes. Look at how slow this this pass was over 90 degrees with De Bruyne there, I think that was, and it was a very slow pass. But sometimes the players are in that much space that we don't care if we don't apply the 90-degree rule of thumb. So do not force tiki-taka. Here again we play a pass which was more than 90 degrees. It was a little bit of a slow pass, it wasn't that bad actually, but here we use the middleman technique and the lay of pass right there, and we get the great tiki-taka to goal indeed. That's it, gonna be the end of the video guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. My name is Suti, see you next time.